Welcome to MyWebUniversity free educational videos. Tonight I'm going to discuss the Linux Red Hat Enterprise version 9, which is also called Enterprise Linux version 9 or Red Hat RHEL Enterprise version 9. So on this one, we're going to just show you how to do software update. Let me go through a slideshow here. As you can see on the screen, I have a Linux Red Hat Enterprise version 9. It's a VM virtual machine that I'm going to demonstrate on 9.x version of Red Hat. So if you're using any version of Red Hat prior to 9x, where 9.1 is the one that I'm using, the latest version, but you might be using 8.6 or 7.6 or 6.6 or something similar. For a different version, you have different kind of file manager. Whether it's yum, let me just correct this wording here. Let me go back here. On this one, it should be yum, yellow dock update manager. I missed the U here. And then the DNF is there, yum is here, is correct. Here is correct. And let me just go back on this page also. I need to put yum here and save it. So you have that information. We're gonna discuss the software update and then with system admin activity or system admin task that you're going to do it. Whatever platform that you have, whether it's a physical machine or virtual machine, you're running an operating system like Red Hat Enterprise Linux version 9.1, which I'm running, and I want to show you how to upgrade your system or update your system, not upgrade. Update is different than upgrade. Update is when you're just updating the software that's currently on that version that you're running. Either you're just updating the individual packages to make sure that the vulnerabilities are fixed. So you're applying some patches or bug fixes for the updates, or you're doing the entire software update. But you might be doing upgrade, which is from one major version to another version. So like an upgrade from 6x to 7x is called an upgrade. But an update of 6.1 to 6.2, it is an update. Similarly, a 7.x, where there's 1, 2, 3 to a 7.6, that's an update. Once you move to a major version, that's an upgrade. From 7 to 8 or 8 to 9, that's upgrade. You're upgrading it to another major version. But the minor version is an update. So let's just go with the next page. Right here, I'm going to show you today two ways you can do it. One is the gnome-software, gnome-software. This binary is installed on every Red Hat 8.x and 9.x. And then maybe it's also on 7, but the GUI part, that if you have to do it on the GUI, that's how you do it. Normally, I use it either for the version 8.x or 9.x through the command line, which is the DNF update command, or the 7x or 6x, the yellow dock update manager update command. So let me just go back to the actual VM, and I'll show you the actual VM, what we have here. First, I want to just log in here. So the screensaver already kicked in. I already started the machine, so it's ready for your use. And then as you can see, I have opened a terminal window. So if I just click here, I have this option to click a terminal window here, or just go here and just type in, for example, xterm, and then open the xterm here. I have the option to just do whichever one I want. But I want to do this one here, and then I want to just make the size a little bit bigger so you can see this thing is, and I could resize it also here. so it is not too big here, and that would also move this thing a little bit down here, and now it fits as we like it right here. So as you can see, I'm logged on Wahid as localhost. So if I just say, give me the host name, it's going to say localhost of local domain. The local domain is there, but if I want to see cat minus d dot minus f1, if I want to see only the local host name, I could do that one as a localhost. And similarly, if I do field 2 is the domain name. So that is none here saying that because of the etc host file, whatever you have on the list here, localhost at local domain, that is just going to show that. So let's just first of all do a cat etc os-release. That gives you a lot of information here. If I just move this screen here up and make this screen a little bit wider, so it is just there. You can see the name of that code is Flow, and then the version is Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9.1. And you can see here the version also 9.1, so you can see it. And then the important thing is that some of these fields are already here that tells you all the details of version 9.1, the code name, and Red Hat Enterprise Linux. All that thing is here, version ID and so on. So if I look at clearing my screen, say cat etc red hat dash release, I can reveal that information in a short summary saying that I'm running Red Hat Enterprise Linux version 9. So that means I'm using either gnome-software to update it from the graphical port or use the DNF command to update it. And then I could also use yum because yum is still available, but it's a symbolic link to DNF and DNF-3. So if I say which yum, you can see yellow dog update manager is there. But if you say file/bin/yum, that is symbolic link to DNF-3. And if I say which DNF is also a symbolic link to DNF-3. And the DNF itself is a file, a DNF user bin DNF-3. It's a Python program. You can see Python script there. So the entire code that when you run DNF, or in this case yum, it will just call the DNF-3 and it will just do that. So if I just say which software gnome-software, this is another binary file user bin gnome-software. This is executable link format, as you can see here. ELF, this stands for executable link format, and it's 64-bit. That means that if I say uname -n for -m for machine type, it will say it's x86. Also, the platform is x86. So that is telling me that I have this. If I want to see uname-a for all the Linux operating system, uname-s for the system name, uname-o for the Linux version, and uname-v for symmetric multiprocessing, uname-r. You can see all the details there. You can also simply just look at the etc star release file. So it will tell you both the Red Hat release file and OS release file. All of this information are on those two files. So let's clear the screen here. We now know that we have those tools, but let's run the GUI first, because Linux, like Windows, is user-friendly. You have to learn it, and it becomes your best friends. It is user-friendly, but it chooses its best friends. Once you learn the commands and the GUI parts, how to do it, it's your best friend. Let's do it this way. So I say, which gnome-software, I know that is there. And if I say man gnome-software, it tells me that I have the option to run it in different modes. Like here, You see the mode that it allows you. It can be running in updates version, or updated, or installed, or overview. By default, it runs an overview when you don't give any argument. So let's just run it with clear this command, say gnome-software, and we just say -- version. So that's the version of GNOME software that is installed on this system. If I say DNF list here, it will list all the software that is installed on the system, and that is all the packages. Look at how many there are there. So if I say DNF list and then word count minus L, it will just tell me that I have that many. But notice that ID minus UN, I'm only logged on as user Wahid. ID by itself is gonna give me the user ID, group ID. I'm not root here. In order for me to just do any software update as a system admin, I need to be root here. So I'm gonna just become root here. There's two ways you can do it. Sudo su dash like this, and then I have to type in the password of Wahid, which I have here. And then once I do this one, now notice my prompt shell 1 changed to pound, because echo $ PS1. PS1 is pointing to this /u. /u means ID-UN, meaning that it's root. So when you type in this one at the same time, notice that my prompt shell 1 was root. So that is /u. But then @ symbol is @ symbol, and then host is that host name or uname -n, you could say, and then that would just give you the name. And obviously you can do cat -d, take the dot out, and then -f1, that would be your local host. That's what this @localhost is doing it. And then this tilde is saying that your current directory of the user that is logged on, ID-UN is root, so cd to tilde for this one is going to drop in the same place. If I go to a directory, make a directory called make dir new there, and then cd to new, notice now my tilde changed to pwd of new, and that's exactly the same thing. Echo $pwd is the same thing. So I already showed you this, but I'm just repeating that one so you know your environment. And then I'm gonna clear a screen here. And then this time I don't want to see root or localhost or anything. I want to just say export ps1 is equal, and then just run this command, pound, and then space this. Now notice that I changed my prompt shell1 echo $ps1 to $, so I know that one. I'm going to do a clear screen and lowercase, and then I say ID-UN, and then host name, and then cat -d delimiter dot, and then minus field 1. That will give me the local host. And then notice that that was there, and then pwd, my current directory is there. I'm going to cd here, and that is my environment at this time. So I'm on this machine and I can do some stuff here. So I'm going to run that gnome-software. As I said, the -- version is there, and then if you do -help, it gives you a full details of how you could run it. But we know that the default one, overview, is the one that we like. At this time, I'm going to just not give any argument in order to run the system. Notice as soon as you run this system, it comes out in Explore, in Install, in Updates. So at this time, you can go individual packages. All I have to do is click on Updates to say that if you want to do it. If you get this check mark, update, up to date, then means you have already done the latest. Because I did this one yesterday, and sometimes Red Hat send you some kind of like vulnerabilities or detected. It's gonna just send you through your subscription manager on the server side an email. on the account that you have subscribed this instance of the VM with the Red Hat, then automatically tells you what package needs to be installed, and I already did it. So it says check mark, that's good. So at this time, if this one's up to date, I can just close and say, okay, good, that's done. But notice that this thing is sometimes does not close by itself. So I could just wait onto it, and eventually it will just refresh it and clean it. Or I can minimize this window and then just say, let's open another window here, and then click on the new window and just look at some of the activity for it while that one is in the progress. So I minimize this one, and I'm gonna just go here, type in another. Let's do this time at the terminal here, and then I'm going to say open a new tab here, and then in the new tab I'm gonna say let's become root again. This time I'm gonna become root as switch user and dash and then root, and then I'm gonna provide the password for root. Okay, so now I'm root again. You can see my prompt is the same prompt that was previously, so that is good. And I'm gonna just clear my screen here and just say DNF list here to see all the packages as we did in the past. And then we're gonna do a count on it. Say DNF word count minus L, and that will give me the 16,187. And then I'm gonna say, if you wanna do individual packages, like Firefox, let's say, if you have to do it, say RPM minus QA grep minus I Firefox. Once you look at the Firefox packages here that is there, you can just say that, go ahead, update that one only, and then you could just do it this way too. I'm saying that DNF update, and then put the backtick here for the Firefox, because that's gonna just pass that argument of updating this. Notice this is dependencies resolved. That means that as if you're saying that DNF update Firefox. This is the same as the above command in both situations that it says this. If you have to do like another package like DNF update, let's say Vim, to make sure that Vim is there. So DNF update ZSH, for example. If I download ZSH, everything goes all to there. But if, let's say I say DNF remove ZSH, and I'm just gonna remove that package, for example. Now the next time I say clear screen, say DNF update ZSH, it's gonna say, well, you don't have ZSH yet, no match found for it. So in order for me to do it, I have to do a DNF install ZSH, and now ZSH is gonna be prompted here. Then I say why to install it, and now I say which ZSH. Now ZSH is available for me. Notice in my here my environment get int password root. It's telling me that I'm using bash as my shell. So if I just want to do a PS here, the echo $$ is pointing to 4024, which is the bash. If I go to ZSH, change my shell here, the default shell is still bash. So I just open another shell with ZSH. Obviously, ZSH is a lot more powerful, a lot of more features. On another video, I'm going to show you that one. But for now, I'm going to just exit out of the ZSH, and I'm back on bash. And then I'm going to clear this screen. I do a DNF update. Remember, I was telling you the yum. I could do yum update update here, automatically is calling the DNF-3 update, or I could just say DNF update. But if your system is Red Hat 6 or 7, you cannot run DNF. You have to run the Yellow Dog Update Manager. Yum is the one. But if your system is 8.x to 9.x, you can use Yum for a while. Eventually, it will be kind of deprecated. So you have to do a DNF. And at this time, notice that I don't have anything to be updated, so my system is up to date. It's like almost on Windows, when you run the update, the last update that you did, it will tell you, or on Mac, when you run the update, it says your system is complete and up to date, so you're good to go. And then you say, okay, great, thank you. I also noticed that on gnome-software, I was getting that check. No, so the DNF update, no matter how many times you run it, it tells you. And gnome-software also tell you, I'm sorry, software, I mistyped it, and gnome-software. If you do that one, it tells you that your system is up to date, and you can see that the check. Okay. If you haven't gone to our site yet, please go to our site and make sure that you subscribe and watch all these videos and learn from them. I have a lot of cool stuff there, and you're welcome to make some comments and ask me for more help on videos that you want me to make it for you, whether it's Unix, Linux, virtual machine, Python programming, shell scripting, C, C++, anything. Just let me know and I'll make the video for it. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.